Donuts are in, but milk and cookies are out. Growlers are in, mason jars so last year. Yes, the new year means another edition of the in-out list, the Post's annual arbitration of what's in and what's out. And this year marks the 35th anniversary of the list. And so, with tongue planted firmly in cheek, Andy Pergam narrates The Making of the List, a mockumentary.
I'm concerned about making it both clear and parallel with the out half of that item.
Okay.
For the fourth year in a row, style reporters Dan Zak and Monica Hesse are putting together the list.
You might be being too picky.
That could happen. That has been known to happen.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has made lists. There have been lists of commandments, top 10 lists, lists of theses, even Franz's list. But in 1978, the list was born at the Washington Post. The list divided the culture into two columns, out and in.
The great dark secret about the list is that those of us who've done it over the years are always just a little bit too old to be doing it. And this is true, unfortunately, of Monica and Dan as well.
I think the list is kind of the best of America.
They really couldn't do this in Canada.
No, Canada couldn't do this. Because Canada, I think, would have a problem even dividing things into two groups.
Washington Post fashion editor Nina Hyde started the list in 1978 with her assistant, Yura Conscious.
The thing about Nina was, she didn't judge you by what you wore, but she knew that people liked rules because they kind of like to know, what to do. And so I think that's how the list evolved. I think, we were just talking, and I was her assistant back then, and we said, hey, wouldn't it be fun at the beginning of the year to sort of talk about what's in and what's out? And I think that, it got a little weirder every year.
In 2000, Hank Stuver took it over.
Hank asked us to take over the list in 2010, and we really tried to maintain his cutting edginess. His cutting edginess. Yeah, I know you're anti-Hobbit in general, but I really like this item.
Of course, handling the list comes with harsh criticism, and over the years, list authors have faced backlash from readers.
As we called celiac disease out.
That is not a group of people to trifle with.
We got some emails from the gluten-free community.
Who thinks Betty White is out? But you think Betty White is out and Ann Mara is in.
One year, I went up to the View, and that year we had those yellow Lance Armstrong, Live Strong cancer bracelets. I had said that they were out, and the audience literally booed. And Star Jones was really mad at me, but, who's laughing now?
But where does the list stand in Washington Post history? And is the list out or in?
It is the 35th anniversary. Where does the list exist from here?
You didn't hear this from us, but I've heard rumors that in the future, the Washington Post will be known as the List Washington Post, or perhaps the Washington Post : the list.
And I think it's something that should probably appear on the front page in the future, but I'll let the people who run this shop come to that conclusion.
When I looked at a draft of the list, most of the things on it, I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even recognize half the things on the list.
It's what's right here in the middle between us.
Yeah.
This is the list right here. And we give this...
It's like this size.
Right, and then we give it to you.
That'll do it for us for tonight. Good to be back with you. Happy 2013 if we didn't already say it. See you tomorrow.